Would you rather fight 100 pint-sized mice or one lorry-sized bear? It's from Daniel. Thank you, Daniel.
Daniel, pint-sized mice.
I mean, that's a pretty big mouse.
Pint-sized normally just means small, doesn't it? But in terms of a mouse, a pint-sized mouse is quite big.
I'm imagining a mouse the size of a pint glass. I mean, that's going to be scary enough. I've been watching South Park, or rewatching some episodes of South Park, because I've just finished South Park Fractured Butthole. The animation on the little rats in that is quite janky and a little bit unnerving. So I'm just imagining 100 of those this big. And Kenny never has a good time when those are about.
No.
It's eaten up.
It depends what weaponry you're afforded, I would say. If you've got some sort of gun, I'm going for the giant bear, because I could probably take it out in a few shots. If it's some sort of
lorry-sized bear.
Lorry-sized.
Yeah, but you shoot it in the face, it's going to have a bit of an impact.
The face is going to be the size of the front bit of a lorry.
Yeah,
it's rather large.
We have both played Days Gone recently, and there are zombie bears in that. So you know as well as I do that shooting it in the face doesn't always do much very quickly.
True. This is video game logic, though. I'm obviously working on real life,
proper logic,
giant lorry-sized bear logic. You could probably pick it off, whereas you've got 100 rats. You're gonna need some sort of machine gun.
I don't think 100 rats is that many.
But they can swarm, can't they?
Can swarm.
They love
But
a
a swarm is many more than 100, isn't it? I would have thought.
How many bees do you think would take a swarm?
1,000.
1,000 bees?
1,000 bees.
That's a lot of bees.
That's why they call it a swarm. They have a new word for it.
I
I'm going to
reckon...
Google whether there's an official line on how big a swarm should be.
Because them being pint-sized is actually going to be advantageous. Is there an official
Good
number?
old Reddit. First question, how many beasts per swarm size?
It probably does scale, so the bigger the beast, the numerically smaller the swarm.
I feel like if they just have to cover a certain amount of space.
Oh, it's a volume thing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Because like you get swarmed by stuff.
Well, isn't swarming a specific? It's like it's a specific activity like that, and then they move as like one thing.
Like the locusts.
Like the swarm of locusts.
I mean, that's millions.
A swarm of tiny creatures consists of 300 non-flying creatures or 1,000 flying creatures. A swarm of diminutive creatures consists of 1,500 non-flying creatures or 5,000 flying creatures.
Wow.
A swarm of fine creatures,
Sexy ones.
10,000, whether flying or not, according to this thing I just found on my phone.
So it's a swarm of urukai at Helm's Deep.
Yeah, they would get swarmed by
And
the
they are
Uruk-hai.
They're fine.
So it's a third of a swarm. A third of a swarm of rats. It's a sw of rats.
I think them being pint-sized is advantageous because then they're quite big. I think the effort it's going to take to kill a mouse-sized mouse.
Pint-sized mouse.
No, a mouse-sized mouse.
Okay.
The amount of energy it's going to take to kill that compared to a pint-sized mouse, I think is going to be functionally the same. If I have a baseball bat, I'm going to go thwack on the mouse and thwack. I'm not going to modulate my attack. Yeah, the hittiness.
Force.
Thank you. I'm not going to modulate my force because of the size of the mouse. I want it dead, so I'm going to hit it with everything I got, as long as I've got the energy to do that apparently 100 more times. The force isn't going to change. It being bigger means I'm more likely to hit it.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if there's 100 of them, I could just like flail around for a bit, thin it out. I could probably get easily half of them down within 10 seconds. I don't know.
You could have one of those scythes like Poldark.
Or Death.
They're the big two scythe users, aren't they? Poldark and Death.
Those are the two. When you think scythe users, you either,
You could probably get through them a fair bit.
I thought you meant like a strimmer.
A strimmer would be better.
Yeah, it's true.
You'd probably have to stop and pick bits
You'd have
of
to
mouse
pick
out
bits, and if
occasionally
the string got, you'd
wire
have to,
goes.
Yeah.
I'm going baseball bat. And you know how sometimes people put nails through a baseball bat? I'm going to nail mouse traps to the end of the baseball bat. As soon as I get the horse off it, from last episode.
So after the first, let's say, 8 swings, you're going to just have a mouse-covered bat to hit more mouses.
Yeah, the volume of the weapon becomes larger,
And the
increasing
threat.
the threat. Yes, it's a psychological warfare.
Like a giant
being
who's got
beaten to death
skulls.
with your own kind is a
It's more
terrible
about
way to go.
preventing future attacks than it is.
You're future-proofing
About
this
sending a
question.
message.
Yeah, the
You'll
mass.
kill 97, 98 of them, and then you'll pick the others up and go, you kill the rest, what you
Tell
saw
what you
here,
saw.
and you throw them away.
So I only need to worry about, I'm going to say 98 of these rats I'm going to kill, and I'm going to send 2 in separate directions and say, tell them what you saw.
Okay. I feel like the bear
And I'm going to
is...
check in with them every quarter. We're going to have a sit down at Starbucks. I'm going to buy them a croissant. See how they're doing. It's all about long-term relationships, Ben, in the business world.
So Liam has befriended 2%.
I think of myself as more of a mentor.
Okay.
They like me because I saved them.
From you,
I killed their dads, but also,
their brothers, sisters, mothers, wives,
yeah,
husbands.
don't marry your wife. I
all
was going to say,
of them.
don't marry your wife.
Don't marry your wife.
Don't marry your wife.
She's
mate.
already married. Some sort of pervert are
Her
you?
husband's going to be pissed. Don't marry your sister is what I was going to say, but you didn't say that, so I
No.
won't.
How would you dispatch the bear
Rocket launcher.
rocket launcher?
Yeah.
What if you miss?
Second rocket.
So you're going to reload while the bear is coming at you?
Yeah. Well, he'll be distracted by the explosion from the first one first.
If you've gone to the effort of having 2 rockets, why not 2 rocket,
rocket
launchers,
launchers.
1 per hand?
Okay, fair
You got
enough.
2 shoulders. Yeah.
And then the blast will send you back, so then you'll have time to reload.
Yeah.
Apparently that's how you do it.
They're just on the floor, right? You
Yeah.
just-
If you had a degree of planning, you would work out how far back you'd get blown and then just place 2 rockets in the floor
Just
so
land.
you can... and then just keep doing that all the way into the sea, at which point you're safe
From the bears.
from the bear.
You've wasted a lot of rockets.
Wasted or...
Not if you kill the bear.
Well, yeah, then you wouldn't have to keep going back and back and back. would
And if you did want to...
Heat-seeking rocket launcher. There you go. Job done.
What if,
I
it's a
may have
pol-
taken the fun out of the question a
what if
bit.
it's a polar bear?
Yeah, they're
point.
notoriously cold-blooded, aren't
Yeah.
they?
That's why they're up there.
They're made of ice.
Yes.
They cool down standing on the glacier mint.
And then, of course, you go to all that prep and you hit and kill it with the first missile. And like, I sort of
Mate, this was
had a
going to
whole
be so
thing.
cool.
James Cameron's here with his GoPro. This was going to be awesome.
Swimming about.
Something about. I told him this would be Atlantis. This is not Atlantis.
Because killing 100 mice with a rocket launcher is tricky because they may have spread.
They may have spread.
Yeah, you'd need a good, perhaps a flamethrower, but then
Yeah.
they might not get got immediately, and then you've got 100
Flaming mice.
fire mice coming at you.
And then they could get mostly killed, run away, die, and then be stuck to something. And then you've got to get the painters in. Mice stuck to the ceiling.
With all the glue.
Well, no, the melted mouse flesh.
Notoriously sticky.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never melted a mouse, Ben.
I'm very pleased to hear
Thank you
that.
so much. Actually answers a lot of questions.
What questions does it answer, Liam?
Has Liam ever melted a mouse?
Why are all these unmelted mice here? Because Liam doesn't know how to melt them.
He hasn't been practicing.
Jesus.
I don't mind mice. I don't think we should melt them. I know that's
That's a strong
controversial.
take.
It's a strong take. Brave.
Don't
Very
melt mice, kids.
What? It could have just be a cuddly bear. Like a teddy bear.
Yeah, we
And
haven't
then
considered that.
just a box of matches.
Yeah, why are we fighting? Can't we just sit down and settle our differences?
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's a massive bear, flog it.
Wow.
eBay.
eBay. Open up a Hook the Duck stall, someone will come and win it.
Then it's their problem.
Then it's their large lorry-sized bear. Are the bears inside that? No, that is the bear. Oh.
Lorry-sized, not lorry-shaped. It's not like...
So it's just because lorries are used for haulage, you see. So I was like, there might be bears inside. No. There's enough stuff in there to stuff several large bears and have enough left for Pud. We could... They're not in the next room. Like, we don't actually have to do this. So it's maybe just the threat of war is enough to calm these mice and bear.
Yeah, once they see you've got a rocket launcher, they might be all right.
Because they're listening into the conversation, they're like, I actually don't much fancy my chances against a flamethrower. I don't want to melt. A scythe I was ready for, but melting.
Melting. Oh, it's a long way to.
It's a long way to die.
It's not a quick one, is it?
No.
Melting on the end of a baseball bat covered in mouse traps.
No. Liquid mice.
Quite sad.
It is quite sad. There's a lorry-sized bear. Why is everyone trying to fight me? Just because I'm huge.
Leave me alone,
Just 'cause
man. I'm already shaped like a lorry. I've got my own problems.
When was the last time we saw a bear with wheels?
I can't even get a road tax, so I'm not road safe.
not
I'll get
road
pulled
safe.
over.
Can't go in the path. Can't go in the forests.
Not you, Les compliant.
I just want to go to the theatre. Not ULEZ compliant. Too big for the seats. May as well do haulage.
Told me I couldn't bring snacks in, but I can't even open my picnic basket.
Because my hands are wheels.
These wheels.
I feel sorry for him now.
Oh.
What's his name?
Andrew.
I was like, okay, it's a bear, but it's a lorry. What can we do?
No, it is Andrew, though.
Andrew the lorry bear.
Lorry.
Don't give him an awful, cruel, ironic name. He's got his own shit going on. Just call him by Andrew.
Just Andrew, who's got his own shit to deal with. Thank you very
No,
much.
don't call him like Wheelstuffer or something.
Wheelstuffer.
That's not nice.
Wheelbear.
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 Like
I
Wilbur.
see.
But he's a wheelbear. Wheelbear.
Hauliver. Hauliver is much better than what I'm concocting.
Go on.
Stephanie. I'm thinking of logistics. Stephanie. Logistics.
Right.
Stephanie.
Okay. I thought that we'd peaked with Wheelbear, but also Andrew is definitely his name.
He's got a little scarf. It's just fashion.
Do you think he's got truck
jaunty.
nuts?
Truck nuts.
He calls them his nuts, though. It's
Are they locking truck nuts?
What's the difference?
Well, one's on the on position.
When are truck nuts on or off?
That's a great question, Ben. Well, what's the function?
I think it's an extension of your own small testes. Or ironic lols.
Just so then they're always on.
Do you think it gets smaller when it gets cold? Ooh, imagine if they had feeling in and you were going over a newly gritted road.
Ooh.
Ping, ping, buddy, ping, ping, ping.
Still better than the toffee hammer.
Better than the toffee hammer.
Well, don't. You could. They're doing all sorts of Bluetooth these days. Couldn't you connect the truck nuts to some sort of
Nut
cock
sock.
ring?
Nut sock.
Well, I mean, cock ring's only going to go around the cock. You need, if you're going to, I assume Liam's going to say,
Well, no,
and then you can get like haptic feedback from the truck nuts to your actual nuts.
Yeah.
So that you'd have to
Definitely
envelop
know
them.
someone too well if that's what you assume they're going to say.
No,
Haptic feedback
from the truck nuts.
Now, I'll be honest. I didn't have the nomenclature, but that was the gist of what I was going for. I wouldn't have used the word haptic. No, I would have said vibrati.
Vibrating.
So that was haptic.
Haptic feedback of the nut trucks.
Truck nuts.
Truck nuts.
Nut trucks are different
Nut
things.
trucks. They're very small micro machines.
I'd say that's more like a trail mix.
Oh. I don't want to do this anymore.
Podcast or just this episode?
Yes.